Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chord Dave. This is Chord Dave Live. Welcome. We got to talk about guitars and things, so that's what we do. It's 10 p.m. Irish time. I nearly said a.m. Be a weird breakfast if it was. But yeah, it's 10 p.m. So wherever you are in the world, Sláinte. I know my good friend Glenn is worried I won't finish the beer tonight. I got a bigger bottle than usual. So just for you, Glenn, I'm going to make sure I drink more throughout the episode. And we'll see how that goes. But for now, let's talk about all things guitars and music and weather. And I suppose we might even talk about movies because we were on a stream last night, a few of us hanging out with my brother's channel, and we were talking about guitars there. So, as his is a movie channel and we talked about guitars, let's talk about movies here for a while. Why not? That would be weird and fun. Yeah, lots going on. Pre-nam stuff happening. Got some news for you that you might not have heard, although I think it's starting to circulate widely now about a new Gibson coming out. I think they're dropping it next week, but they might hold off for 2 weeks. So I'll tell you all about that. Might excite you if you're a Kirk Hammett fan, because he doesn't have any signature models as far as I'm aware, but he's getting a new one soon. I'll tell you about that in a bit. Gibson released a new $1,000 pickups, and are they terrible? Like, is it the stupidest thing you've ever seen, or is it actually something that's not all that surprising? Um, and all kinds of other thoughts. I'd love to know your thoughts on all both of those things. I'll tell you more about the Kirk Hammett thing. I haven't brought any pictures with me because I'm probably going to make a video about it tomorrow. Um, and the whole collection, the Kirk Hammett collection idea, the Dave Mustaine collection, the Slash collection, the Adam Jones collection ideas, stuff like that. I was sent a lovely article today, or images from an article saying Adam Jones wants to do another Epiphone art collection. Okay. So we'll talk about that. Anyway, let's get into the chat and talk about all the things and see how everyone's doing. Great to see T, formerly known as T, here in the chat. First of all, I know Scott Bogfoot is here. He must have been late again. Which is, I mean, that's 3 times in a year. That's not acceptable, but it's okay. We'll forgive him. Great to see you, T. Hope you're doing well. Richard Clark was here as well early. Great to see you, Richard. Denise Shaw, great to see you, Denise. Thanks for joining us today. By the way, if you are a new subscriber, if it's your first Chord Dave live experience, you're not subscribed, you have to be subscribed to join the chat. Join the chat and talk to us about all your feelings and thoughts. Keep it guitar related if you can. If you don't want to, though, if you just want to talk about how your Friday night went or your Saturday went, feel free to do so. All good. We can talk about whatever. It's a loving community, mostly. But yeah, you got to be subscribed. Wait about a minute or so, and then you can chat in this and in a chat here with all the folks. Richard Clark says, I finished a large job just in time for the biggest storm we have had in a decade to come through. I've been hunkering down for a week, enjoying life. Interesting, Richard. Yeah, that is, I mean, take care and be safe and be well. Also got a new power supply, so I've been trying to redo my studio pedals. Not complaining that way. It gives you something to do during a storm, right? That's not too bad. Speaking of which, just in case I disappear off the screen at any point tonight, it is getting quite windy here. It's been freezing cold for like a good week, and I mean literally freezing. It's been 0 degrees or less degrees for about a week. It has turned a corner. It's not too bad. I think it's about 6 degrees now. So, but the wind chill is still there, and it's very, very windy outside. So if I disappear, it's because the power went or the internet went or something. I don't think it'll happen, but just in case. He also says timing is everything, they say, and a great way to spend a week while at home. Sounds like a win-win for the pedals and the power supply and all that sort of crack. Did you see Gibson brought out some amps? Yeah, absolutely, T. We did know they were going to come to that arrangement at some point, because when they bought Mesa Boogie back a couple of years ago now, and we knew there were, at some point there'd be Gibson branded amps. I think we talked about it last week that they were going to be they kind of teased it, and they were going to be Falcons. I knew the Falcon 20 was the one. I didn't know the Falcon 5. The pricing, some people think the pricing is great, and I've seen others say that they're ridiculously expensive. I'm not, as I've said a million times on the channel, I'm not the amp guy. I don't know how much most amps cost because I don't look at them very often, and I don't know value to price ratio on amps, which in a way I would have an idea on the guitar world, but um, I don't think they're crazy priced compared to other guitars of that ilk, but of kind of what they're offering. They won't be finding their way to my desk, but that's just because they didn't put them in Pelham Blue. Pff, cream, what? But yeah, it's an interesting. I knew they were doing it. That at least it's a guitar related product and not a scarf or a bandana, right? Because that they could have brought out Gibson exclusive bandanas again, or leather jackets. I mean, they already have those, but like new editions. Glenn Bailey's here. Good to see you, Glenn. Hope all's good with you, my friend. Glenn says, so in 2023, Chord Dave was with Steel Panther at NAMM. They announced their signature Chapman guitars, the Pegasus. And today, the internet is like, hey, Steel Panther has gone to Chapman Guitars. Breaking news a year late. Yes. One of the advantages of being subscribed to this channel is you find out things up to a year in advance. Yeah, I saw that video with Rob Chapman yesterday. I think he was as if it was a brand new thing. It's like, oh, Steel Panther are going to be at our booth. It's like they were last year, dude. What the hell? I met them there. Unless I dreamed it, but I have photographs with Michael Starr, a video with Michael Starr. So yeah, I don't know if that got put on hold or was delayed somehow, but they're making a big thing of it this year, Chapman at NAMM. I'm looking forward to seeing them at it again. I think they have changed the guitar up a little bit. I think it's a slight, it was the same color, but I think they may have changed a couple of things about it. We'll see, obviously, probably on Thursday when the videos from NAMM start to get on the internet. Glenn says, Richard, it snowed here for 12 hours yesterday, but I'm not complaining because you're getting it hard. Be safe. Yeah, be safe and careful. Glenn says, I heard Charvel released some guitars today. I'll have to check them out after the stream. Charvel did a release during the week, I think. So did Jackson and a couple of others. Yeah, the Charvel, am I right in saying it's the Charvel ones that people are saying they're relic guitars or worn or something, whatever they're calling them? But they all have the exact same markings on them. I find that a little bit strange. Um, and I know Fender did similar with their Road Worn series. The Ventera Road Worn series is almost the same, but these are exact. Everything has the same markings on them. So I think it's Charvel, is it? I could be thinking of it. I keep mixing things. I've so many things have been thrown at me this week, guitar wise. So yeah, I think it's Charvel though. Marcia says, oh my God, can someone turn up the heat on New York? Yes, Marcia, no problem. How many degrees would you like it turned up? -4 is the number I can turn it up from here. So, but yeah, it's cold everywhere. Everyone's getting cold weather, frozen pipes. I don't know, broken snowmobiles. I don't know, just every January, February, March now. I feel like I just want to live in a country that is warm all the time. I don't like this cold thing. Wasn't made for it. Marsh says, lol, I just saw that. What the heck is going on with that? I did see that Steel Panther is going back to NAMM this year again. Maybe they're releasing something new or just trying to get people to the booth. Yeah, apparently they're going to be at the Chapman booth with their guitar. Well, it's Styx, Zardinia, and Michael Starr, the joint signature guitar, the Pegasus. I don't know, maybe they just had an early look at it last year. They seem to be like, this is coming very soon. But there was very few details about the guitar at the time. Now, I think you could have hung around and been like, and got a demonstration of it and asked about it. There was plenty of people playing it at the time at the booth. And yeah, it's a great looking guitar. It looks fantastic, but I don't know what happened to it, to be honest. I was very surprised that after that there was no mention of it on Chapman's releases or videos and stuff. So it'd be good to see it come out. I mean, obviously this is, just in case you didn't know, Steel Panther fan club. So we are looking forward to it. And maybe they'll also revive the 1987 pedal just for the crack, just for the NAMM week. That'd be great. because I think, as far as I'm aware, it's sold out. You can't get it. Glenn Bailey says, yeah, it's 21 Fahrenheit in Virginia. Today it was 12 when I went to work. That sounds good. I don't know Fahrenheits, so yeah. March says, it feels like 6 degrees here right now. If we can get through today, it climbs into the 50s next week. Heat wave, says Glenn. 50s sounds nice. I don't know. It sounds pretty, sounds chill. Sounds like umbrellas in your drinks type of weather. It could not be. I don't know, but that's what it sounds like. Um, the new Gibson amp sounds nice. I wonder how much input Mesa had in it. Complete input. The only Gibson thing about it, it has a Gibson badge on it now. So yeah, it's essentially it's a Mesa Boogie amp, but it's influenced by the Gibson Falcon of the Falcons of the 60s. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't put too much on that. It's just marketing having it called Gibson. It's, I mean, they're made by Mesa, and they're essentially the same team making them, so same people making them. So I wouldn't put too much on them being Gibson, not yet. Anyway, maybe further down the line they'll have their own things, but these are, yeah. If what do you call it? If they had Mesa on Boogie on them, I don't think anyone would be too surprised. Marcel literally just watched a clip from Agu Fish making it sound like the guitar is brand new, but seeing other channels doing the same. The guitar is already a year old. It's a cool guitar though, and it was Chord Dave that broke the news last year. I mean, it was April, so it's almost a year. Um, Feels like a full year since I was at NAM, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe people are being asked to mention this as a new guitar. I don't know. But again, if you weren't at NAM last year, you wouldn't have seen anything about it. So I don't know if Agrifish was at NAM last year or any other channels who were talking about it, because a lot of I like there were other YouTubers at NAM, but not everybody. So maybe they just didn't see it and they didn't know about it. But those of us who were there got to see it and check it out, and it was pretty cool. And yeah, I guess they're doing it again this year, which is in some ways it's the most Steel Panther thing ever. Announce a guitar, but only to the people in the room, and then a year later announce it to the rest of the world. Or 8 months later, whatever it is, 9 months later, whatever. That is kind of the best, most Steel Panther thing of all time. Um, Richard Clark says the high temperature for me has been 5F for about a week. Before that, we got 18 inches. Should get above freezing in 2 days, though. Well, hopefully so. Hopefully so. Formerly known as T says, I thought Mesa built them, but that's a presumption. You know, it's a correct presumption. T, yeah, absolutely. I'd be shocked if Mesa had no input to the design. Even more surprising is the price is very fair and far and on par with a nice Fender. You can't even get one of their guitars for that price. What prices are they? Like, are they 1,500 and 2,000 or 2,500? They're in that kind of ballpark. I mean, look, there's lots of choices of amps in that ballpark as well. So trying to force themselves in with these Gibsons, they have to sound good, and they have to be versatile. And I think from what I've seen, which is basically Gibson's videos on them, they do appear to be that. They do appear to have some very cool little amps going on there. So I don't know. As I said, like I doubt I'll be picking one up. If Cesar wants to sponsor a video and send me one for free, then I'll check it out. But yeah, we're not buds. We haven't spoken in months, so I don't think it's gonna happen. He hasn't given me any good leaks in ages, so we'll we won't rely on that one. But yeah, I mean I've seen two sides of the argument actually. I've been across guitar social media this week, and some people saying, yeah, Gibson amps are actually not badly priced. They look cool for the price. They're really cool, whatever. And then I've seen the other side, like who the Gibson think they are charging that much for those amps. They should be like 900. They should be. I've seen saw one person say they should be no more than 500. I think he was wrong. But I think in general, they'll stand the test of time. I think they there's a big risk if they put out a terrible amp. So I'm pretty sure that they've made sure these are pretty good. And yeah, once they get out to actual people who play them and give real reviews on them, I think we'll see pretty good impressions. But again, I won't be one of those people. I couldn't tell you whether an amp's good or bad. I like, yeah, that sounds like guitars playing through it. That's great. Awesome. So that does me most of the time. Um, but it'll be interesting to see people's reaction to them over the next few weeks. It was two different divisions entirely, so it's possible they had nothing to do with it. The designing, rather. I doubt it. I doubt it. Glenn says, but 7 watt and 12 watt. I was thinking at least 10 and 20. What? Did I miss something? Um, I don't know. I think what they've got is pretty good for who they're aiming it at. But I think if Mesa built them, they would have had a hand in design. Mesa did build them, so I don't know how much design influence they had, but they definitely were. They were. It was look. It's their product really, just a Gibson tag on it, Gibson logo. That's what I'm led to believe. Uh, Glenn, I thought there were more watts than that. I'm pretty. It's a 20 and a 5, right? And um you can choose your wattage on them, I think. Um, you'd get a Fender 65 Deluxe Reverb for 1,860 euros, 2,100 for the Falcon 20. Yeah, see, you're playing in that ballpark. There's lots of choices for people in there, and that's the problem they're going to run into. Even if they have great amps, they're going to run into. There's already established market leaders there, and we're getting people to try out this new thing. It's going to be difficult for them, much more than if they brought out a new guitar in that price range or the challenging something else. They'd have much more success with that. So it will be interesting to see because, as well, like there is people out there who just fucking hate Gibson, and no matter what they do, they could bring out um, anything and they'd be against it. So every time Gibson bring out a new product, I'm hopeful it'll be a good one and not overly expensive and kind of good QC. I think it's going to have better QC than most Gibson products. I'll tell you that much. Glenn says, and why was Chord Dave not releasing a short showcase? He had the Steel Panther news a year ago. I mean, it didn't seem like a big deal, to be honest. Because Chord Dave released that short last year. I did release a short with Michael, and he was explaining about the guitar. It's on the channel, right? Let me just double check that because Glenn's made me think it's not there. I gotta open a new YouTube window because I have about 40 of them open doing different bits and pieces. Let's see if I can get into Chord Dave's channel. Yeah, it's my last short. Met Steel Panther at NAM 23, and that has all the news. I'm pretty sure that has Michael showing everybody the guitar and stuff like that. Really sure. Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. I hope so. So check that out. But it definitely, it's weird that they haven't released anything. Scott Brewer says, hello all. Has anyone ordered their $1,000 a pair authentic 1959 Gibson PAF humbuckers yet? Not yet. So I suppose I can talk about it. So now, what are we, 20 minutes into the show? Well, cheers, Scott. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Ooh. So, yeah, Gibson pickups. What are they called? The 1959 Humbucker 1 exclusive something or other. I forgot what they're called already. Let me just double check that because the naming is quite creative. The Gibson pickups, where are they? All right, they're not there on that page. Or are they? No. All right, let me just find them. Anyway, they're the 1959. I'm pretty sure that's what they call them. They're limited to 1,000 pickups. And damn it. Oh, hang on, I have it on this page, don't I? Yes, I do. Guitar accessories, pickups. The 1959 Humbucker Collector's Edition Series 1 exclusive. Series 1 would indicate there is going to be a Series 2 and a Series 14 at some point in the future. Exclusive 1959 humbucker collector's edition Series 1 exclusive. 1,000 of them were made, 1,000 of them sold. $1,000,000 in the pocket. Now there's obviously a cost price as well, so a lot of money went into the case for them, as you guys will know, and some case candy for your pickups as well, which I think is hilarious, because you don't get that with some of their guitars nowadays. Um, but they're not the first guitar pickup to have been released around that price. Throwbacks are expensive. Like they're what, $700-800 for a set. So not quite there, but Gibson's brand recognition a little bit more going to cause the price to be higher? I would think so. It's the Gibson tax. We've got it on all Gibson products. Um, what else have you got in that range? You've Seymour Duncan did an exclusive silver set a while ago. I think maybe it was like 10 years ago, and they used silver instead of copper in them, and they were like $900. Um, I think you can still buy them. They come in a wooden box, not a leather one. So they're kind of again in the price range of those super exclusive things. What I wonder about these pickups, or these particular 1959 humbuckers, is that like every time Gibson releases a new pickup, they say it's the closest um, re reissue, closest they've ever gotten to an actual PAF. The problem there is all the PAS apparently are slightly different. So which one are you like? What did you base this on? And isn't hasn't the design been used by not just Gibson but many other companies? Pretty much. And I know the patent, they have the patent on them and all that sort of stuff, but it's a humbucking pickup. It's like, people have been making them for a long time. So how close and how authentic is it actually to a PAF? And is that a good thing? Um, if the one they've modeled it on is not like the best PAF ever made. They always say this is the closest recreation of a PAF ever made. And I just find it like it's a little bit weird. Like burst bookers were that for a while, and custom bookers, and I don't know, probably pro bookers to this point as well. They just keep coming up with this nonsense, and yeah, there's going to be another series. I would hazard a guess of these that'll be $1,000 as well. Um, I won't be buying $1,000 set of pickups. It doesn't matter what they call them, or what color they bring out. But I think, look, obviously there's people out there. My fear with them is that people will buy them and they'll never be put into a guitar, never played. They're a collector's item that'll sit on a shelf somewhere for some dude to go, hey, look, I own $1,000 pickup set from Gibson. Look at the case it came in. It's awesome. Um, but if people put them in to their guitars and they actually are the best pickups in the history of the world, then great. I don't think, I don't know. I don't think they'll be all that good. Um, I don't think they'll be that much better than custom bookers or classic 57s or pro bookers, even not pro bookers, burst bookers for that matter. I think they'll just be really good humbucking pickups. Um, but you're paying for that limited edition collector's version series one of 1,000. But then series two will have another 1,000, and you'll have to buy them, and so on and so forth, and it keeps going. So I don't know. Look, they're popular. There's 1,000 people ready to buy them. So good for Gibson. Good for whoever bought them. If you did buy them, please put them in your guitar and use them, because that's what they're meant for. Uh, and I wonder how many of them that shipped will never play a sound because either they're not used or because they won't work. Because they probably assume most people will not use them. So you don't really have to QC them. Glenn Bailey says, no, the Falcon 5 is 7 watts and the 20 is 12. I'm pretty sure. You could be right, Glenn. I didn't look into them too closely. I just watched the videos, and I was just looking at the Epiphone Firebird most of the time. Just being like, what the hell's that? I haven't seen that before. Marcia says, Scott, I was about to say you can get about 1.5 Gibson amps for those pickups. I mean, 0.75, right? But still on the money. It's a good point. What I like to say is you can get almost half of an Epiphone now for that kind of money. I've been saying that about everything lately. That's expensive. Glenn says, yes, but they release it again, letting people know he was on it a year ago. I might retitle it Steel Panther's new guitar. To follow the channels to get all the information. I mean, I do leak information quite often. I actually think, to be honest with you, that's going to be less of what we do on the channel in 2024 and going on, just because it's really difficult getting that information. And then you do your best, and sometimes sometimes those videos don't do very well. They piss off Cesar, but that's about all they achieve. So we'll see. I mean, I do have enough info for that new Kirk Hammett guitar to give you guys some information tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know if we'll keep doing it that way, doing leaks. But for every time I have leaks, I put the information out as soon as I can, and yeah, it's a great reason to be subscribed to the channel, especially if I find something really cool or interesting myself. I'll definitely put it out there, usually weeks and weeks before it's public domain knowledge. So if you're not subscribed, you're missing out. I think they both have attenuators built in, says T. That's an interesting fun. Yeah, that's correct, actually. I do remember that. Glenn says, well, I'm waiting to see if I can sell a vital organ to get those hot pups from Gibson, or I can just buy any other set of PAFs for about 200 and be satisfied. Glenn, I think that is quite smart. You could probably get it's a nice set of pro bookers and still sound just as good. Like I want somebody so badly to test these against standard pro bookers. Please. Standard pro bookers, the slash custom pro bookers, and the $1,000 1959 humbucker. Please, somebody do that test. I need it done to find out which one's a blind test, which one was the best. I guarantee you, people will find it difficult to decipher which one was the $1,000 pickup. Two versions of the pro bookers and the $1,000 ones. If I could get my hands on a set of those, I would do it. I have pro bookers. I don't have the slash ones, but I'm sure I could find someone to let me borrow their slash Epiphone Les Paul. If you want to be involved in it, let's do it. Scott Brower says, for the price, output, features, and looks, the new Gibson amps look pretty good. If I were in the market for a combo amp, I'd give them a close look. Yeah, I'm that's what the majority of people I'm seeing are saying, who are more into the whole amp scene than I am, or kind of not even amp scene, but like who have more knowledge of amps than I do. That's what I've seen a lot of people say. So that that's what I think, and also it's a different color. Most amps are just black. That's just how it is. So having them be the colors there, they will stand out as well. That's another thing that might attract people to them. Silly as it is, a little thing like that can make people make a decision on purchasing things. Marcia says, Glenn, I'm waiting to be blown away. Sorry, I thought it was like I am blown away. Maybe it's a ploy to get people to buy more amps. They get the level-headed people to buy amps while the doctors, lawyers, and dentists get pickups. I mean, you're leaving out lottery winners, Bitcoiners, uh, just all crypto people after a bull run, obviously, not at the moment. Just, professional baseballists, um, fraudsters as well, people who sell Chibsons. All those people have enough money to buy all these things as well. Uh, yeah, I get you. I get you 100%. Glenn says, Larry DiMarzio, I heard, put a set of his pups in a 1959 Les Paul and the sound wasn't the same. So he put the originals back in. That's enough for me to say $1,000 pups aren't going to make that much of a difference. Um, as I said, I feel like in blind tests, I don't think people will notice. But if you tell people these are the $1,000 ones, they'll be like, they're so much better. They're so much better. T says, do they tick some of the right? They do tick some of the right boxes. Would like to see an amp tech give them the once over. That'd be a very interesting thing. Much better than me waffling on about them. The pups have a nice case. They do. They should. I mean, we shouldn't get into telling Gibson they make nice cases, because they'll just bring them out as handbags and man bags and sports bags, gym bags, suitcases. But yeah, I do like the case. It's a cool little thing. If only all of their pickups came in something like that, they'd sell more pickups. Um, anyways, Glenn Bays, I'm pretty impressed with the Gibson amps, I will say. Hey, wait a minute, you said that already. Didn't you? Anyways, formerly known as T, so I think the case is worth $750. Let's be fair, 700. Or says Glenn, yeah, the case is perfect for storing girly earrings while using the pickups that are permanently attached to the guitar. So my understanding is that you can take out the insert, so you can the whole size of the case is usable for whatever you would like. So you could put in like a load of M&Ms, some Skittles as well, mix them up with the M&Ms. I don't know. You should use your imagination. You can put all kinds of things in there. Uh, so one person like get really upset and be like, "I'll put the pickups that I've taken out of the guitar in the case. It's not rocket science." All right, you do you, my friend. Marcy says, yeah, an Epiphone guitar costs more than a Gibson amp now. How ironic is that? Um, I mean, maybe Alanis Morissette should put that in her song lyrics when she's singing ironic these days. Um, I was gonna start singing, but I'm not. I just decided I can't do it. Rumor has it Glenn has loads of girly earrings. Says T. I had heard that actually. Um, just now. Marcy says that's why I directed the comment at him. There you go. There you go. Marcy that they're earrings for his goth cousin. Oh my god, goth cousins are back. Uh, um, for those PAFs into 59, put those PAFs into a 59 outfit and pick up a Falcon 20 sorted for 4 grand. Yeah, you would be, wouldn't you? Um, I mean, or you could go on Reverb and get yourself a nice few guitars for that money instead. I'm just saying that's what I would do. Richard Clark says if it's about the case, then just sell the case in a case. It's kind of very meta. They sell the case in a case, case for a case. Why not? Glenn says I do have earrings. I have 3 holes in my ear, and I have plenty of rings too. You meet more girls, so you can share your jewelry with them. So girly earrings, it is for me. All right, Glenn. Well, that's a life lesson that I'm glad you shared with us. I'm also a little bit worried. Uh, so hope all's good with you, man. Uh, yes, indeed. Keep your keep your earrings on display for all to see. That's how you meet girls, apparently. They're meant to be a collector's thing anyway. As soon as they're gone, you will see them on Reverb for double, I'm sure. Geek Lord has some. Yeah, I think so. I think you'll see him at least 1.5, um, maybe 2,000 in the next week or so. But much like a lot of the Epiphone guitars, this is the best thing I think to compare them to over the last year or so. You see them going up on Reverb for crazy prices, and then they don't sell, and then they just sit there for a while until they come down very quickly. Because if like a lot of scalpers might have jumped on them, or people hoping just to flip them really quickly to make money. Um, so we'll see. I don't know. I think 1,000. Once you're paying 1,000 for pickups, that should be your limit. You should be like, that's it. Um, yeah, I can't see how you could justify any more. I mean, I know people pay a lot more for actual PAFs and stuff, but yeah, I still don't get it, to be honest with you. Um, Formerly known as T says whatever works. I think that's in relation to the to the earrings. Glenn says Geek Lord will post the pups for 1.5k and the case sold separately for 500 bucks. You know, they're special though because they've been on a YouTube channel. That's what makes things special, right? So that's what I'm told. There's a collector's thing that might be worth getting. Any idea how many sets are being made? 1,000 sets T. So yeah, we're sold out now. And we are going to see. I don't know when Series 2 is coming out, but if they specifically put Series 1 in the title of the or the title of the product, I would say there's another 1,000 coming Probably quite soon if they've already sold out. We'll see. Richard, the case is definitely where they put their money. That's a great idea. Uh, Marcia, you mean put the money in the case? Um, anyways, Scott Bogfoot is here. Good to see him in the chat finally. I know you were here a lot earlier. I'm just way behind in the chat, but it's all good. Um, let's see, who else have we got here? I don't want to miss anyone. William Forrest is here. Great to see you there, William. And James Severin. Good to see you, sir. I hope you were doing well, my friend. And we have DMAC as well. Good to see you, DMAC. Hope all's good with you, my friend. And you're doing well. Where are you now? I missed a whole lot of things just dropped in on me. So now I can see exactly how far I am behind. Way behind. There we are. DMAC. There we go. Scott Bogford says new guitars day for me. That's why I'm a little new guitars. More than one. Guitars plural. And that's why I'm late, says Scott. Good to see you, Scott. Thanks for dropping in. Ben Allmark says, howdy y'all. Hope you're all doing well. Good to see you, Ben. Saw you yesterday on Steve Cassidy's guitar stream. Great to see you there. I was still at my day job, so I couldn't be too I couldn't say too much in the comments because I was not supposed to be watching the guitar related live stream. But Steve's doing too good a job to ignore, so I was jumping in there and listening about the finishes on guitars, which is fun. I mean, just in case anyone from work is watching, I didn't do that, and I wasn't watching live streams when I should have been doing other stuff. I was doing the other stuff. I was. Yep. So, anyways, T says hello to Scott, I think. Or what did you get, Scott? Yeah, that's a good question. We want to know about those 3 guitars that you got. I know it's 3 because I read the comment earlier that said you got 2 mystery guitars. Formerly known as T says, Richard says, formerly known as T, there are only 1,000 sets being made. They might be gone already. They are gone already, yeah. They sold out yesterday. Announced yesterday, sold out yesterday. Which is, I mean, great business. So, you know. Al says, hey gang, and good to see you, Al. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Always great to see you in the chat. Mar says, Richard, they sold out on the first day. Scott says, AG and 2 mystery guitars, which I'm sure we'll see on his channel very soon. Although it's a bit unfair to call out mystery guitars. Good stuff. Ben Allmark says, Dave's not home. I am, I swear. Dave's World Party Time. Excellent. Good evening, Benny. Great to see you, man. Hope you were doing well. It was good to see you in the live stream last night. We were on, a few of us were on Carl's channel, as I think I said. My brother Carl, his movie channel he's doing live streams now. So a few of us were talking about guitars over there. So if you want to join us next week, I think he's going to do one every Friday. Around, was it 8 o'clock when he did it, or Irish time? I don't know. Whatever time it was yesterday, same time next week. So go over Carl's movie film show, Carl with a K, Karl, and he talks about movies and stuff, and sometimes guitars and all kinds of things. And he has controversial things that he likes in movies. So you should come over and talk to him, tell him he's wrong. Anyway, Scott Steves is here as well. Great to see you, Scott. We got a lot of Scots, which is fun. But yeah, good stuff. Scott Steves, good to see you. T says, Dave will be happy with your choice. What acoustic did you get? I mean, look, I like acoustics. I just spend all my time with my electrics because they just hit different. San Miguel, interesting choice. I'm a fan of San Miguel. I drink it quite often on the channel, so I do quite enjoy it. It's and they just got the big bottles in my local supermarket, so I was like, yes, I'll have a couple of those, please. So yeah, it reminds me of times traveling, and that's why I like it, I think. Steve Cassidy Guitar is here. Great to see you, Steve. Hope you're doing well, man. Says hello, Dave, and fellow guitar pals. Steve's guitar streams are getting better and better, folks. You should join on Friday nights. As I said, I can't always join because of being at the workplace. I mean, this is where I work from, so I just work computers over there. Dave's computers over here. Sometimes some terrible, awful person turns it on and watches live stream, but not really. But great to see you, Steve. Hope you enjoyed yourself last night. It's a good stream. I enjoyed it. Wait, why does Dave always go to his brother's streams, but we never see his brother up in here? Loyalty. Some people got it, some people do not got it. That's a good point, Marsha. I should kick his ass later. I shall threaten to kick his ass later, is what I'll do, because he's quite taller. He's kind of bigger than I am, so I'll threaten him. That's what I'll do. Glenn says yes. I might be a little distracted. I've been instructed to watch a couple of movies, so I'll be watching Barbie to see if it's as good as Dave says it is. As we covered last night, I do not. Um, I have not actually seen the Barbie movie, but if Margot's in it, it's going to be an A plus from me. Benny Larson says, I hope we didn't completely ruin Carl's evening last night, Dave. No, no, he was very happy to have people to chat away with. Yeah, it was good stuff. And yeah, no matter what he says, he likes guitars too. So, he was talking to me the other day about buying a guitar and everything. So he's fine. He just, I don't think expected as much guitar chat, but he's quite happy with how it went. Yeah, absolutely. And it did turn into Muddy and Carl just taking the piss out of me at the end. So there you go. It's just all that's just what happened, and we won't get too angry about it, but but thanks, Benny. It was cool to see you last night hanging out. All good stuff. Mer says, "Oh wow, another art collection because the first was a raving success, of course." Yeah, apparently Adam Jones wants to do another seven. I don't know if Epiphone want to, or if the guitar market is ready for another seven, but that's what he wants apparently. Apparently, it's in some guitar magazine. Maybe it's Guitar World, something like, or Guitarist World, whatever one that is. GW is definitely GW. Um, so I don't keep up with guitar magazines anymore because it's not 2004 and they don't buy magazines anymore. So there you go. DMAX says, I played the new Gibson amps, preferred the smaller one, but thought they were just okay at best. Not really my thing. I'd prefer a Princeton. There you go. DMAC with first-hand experience. I'm just going to drop that off the table because it's annoying me. Yeah, I mean, first-hand experience is always good to know. So that's what I was thinking. Somebody would play them and have a better idea. I think some people won't know, and that's where they're hoping people will be like, "Oh, it's a Gibson. I'll just buy that." Um, and I think they've kind of set out their price point for that to be a thing. People just to be like, "Okay, well, I'm upgrading from a Spark, a positive grid Spark. What's my next real amp? Well, I play a Gibson guitar. I play an Epiphone guitar. I'll look at what they have, and then oh, they have a Gibson amp. Oh, I can kind of afford it. Let's do that." So it's possible that is where they're looking at. But they'll turn a lot of fans, I think, to Gibson amps. Scott Brower says, not passing judgment on Gibson's new amps and $1,000 pickups until I hear Trogley's opinion. I mean, everybody, that's what we're all waiting for, to be honest with you. Yeah, Trogley's opinion is going to be super important. Guys, give me 2 seconds. I just need like a 2 second break just to sort myself out a little bit. I'll be back to you in just a moment. All right, thank you for sticking around with me, and yes, I should be good to go for the next 3 minutes. Anyways, let's dig in a little bit more. Marsh says, "Lol, Scott. Yep, reserve your judgment until Geek Lord gets his and can show us all the uses for the case." As I said, there's so many potential uses. I haven't watched Trogley in almost 2 years. He's the king of all goobers, says Scott Brower, and now you're entitled to that opinion. I just repeated your words. I didn't say that. But there you go. I'm not disagreeing with you. Mississippi Blues says $999 for pickups and several laughing emojis. It's not for everybody. And when I say it's not for everybody, I mean it's pretty much not for anybody. But there's 1,000 sets got sold, so there you go. Nella says, I made it. Great to see you, Nella. Hope all's good with you, my friend. Yeah, nice to see you in the chat. Glenn says, yes, Geek Lord will tell us if his set of pups and new amp are worth paying more for if you buy from him. I mean, I think so. I think that's the YouTube seal of approval. Robert's here. Good morning, Dave. Every morning, everybody. Hope you've all had a great week. Great to see you, Robert. Hope all's good with you. Happy good morning to you on your Sunday. Marsh says, I mean, Falcons are supposed to be the more affordable option historically. No, is that why people are upset? Um, I don't know. Were they? I have no idea how, where they were positioned price wise in the '60s with the Falcon amps. Maybe it is. But yeah, I really don't know what they were, where they placed them. Stevie Mack is here. Says, howdy, Dave. Great to see you, Stevie. Hope all's good with you. Nella says 17F here in here north of Detroit. Soup's on. Um, that would, yeah, soup's a good idea. I like soup. It's all good. Anytime I hear Detroit, I just think of the RoboCop movie. So as one of my favorite 80s movies. Formerly known as T says, just make sure your guitars are kept safe with all this weather. Indeed, yeah, just be careful. Don't leave them outside in the cold. If they're outside in the cold, bring them inside. Let them acclimate to the warmer surroundings. And then, um, then play with them. Mark says, I'm wondering if we will see any Epiphone copies of the Falcon or an amp historically unique to Epiphone. Those would be like 500 to 800 then. I think we're probably a couple of years away from that, Marcia. I think they will bring out Epiphone amps, like make a big deal of Epiphone amps, but it'll be a while. And what they will likely do is have, like, I'd say probably this time next year, in like around the NAM time, because Gibson aren't going to NAM this year, I'd expect them to actually be at NAM properly next year. I know a lot of people are giving out about them not being at NAM this year already. People who are involved in the NAM show, I mean. Um, so yeah, I feel like they will do something Epiphone amps wise, and that's the time next. So NAM next year is I'd expect them to see something like that. But it'll have to be something that won't compete with their Gibson lineup at all. So I think it'd be something very, very different. It might be like something like the Code, something like that. I don't know. I can't see them putting out tube amps, but we'll see. Um, DMAX says, Shane from In the Blue said it was 27 Celsius in Melbourne, Australia last night. Warm summer night in the southern hemisphere. Yeah. It's different down there. When I went to Melbourne, it's a lovely place, but when I went there, it was summer here, lovely warm weather. Arrived there in the winter and was freezing for just, I don't know, however long I was there. But there you go. Thanks for thanks to my pals for bringing me down in their winter. Mark says, Dave, they've been selling the Steel Panther guitars since they launched. They've been available for ages now. I've seen them all over online. Well, there you go. I haven't seen them. I honestly haven't seen them anywhere. Now I haven't been looking for them. So there you go. Interesting that they're making a big deal of releasing them then. Weird. 33 degrees and blue skies. What's all the fuss about, says Robert. We envy you, sir. Uh, Richard says it's a Chapman guitar. A, it's a Chapman guitar. B, it's Rob Chapman. C, combine A and B. I don't know if you're saying it's a Chapman guitar, or it's a Chapman guitar, or it's Rob Chapman, or it's Rob Chapman. So yeah, both of those things do. I get you. I get you. Nella says, "What's an SP guitar?" So that would be the Steel Panther signature guitar. So it's Michael Starr and Stick Sidinia's signature guitar coming out from Chapman. Currently out from Chapman, according to Marcia there. Again, I haven't been looking to see it for sale. I must point that out. So thought it would have just been a bigger deal because they're the biggest rock band in the world. But yeah, there you go. Scott Brower said, I had a Korean made Chapman ML3 traditional, was the best spec, best finished guitar for the money I've ever owned. Very cool. Very cool. I got up close and personal with them at NAM, obviously, but yeah, I've never spent too much time with them, but they seem very cool. Guitars. I've just never, they're just not, I just don't think they're exactly the aesthetic I want to go for. But anyway, I do like the Steel Panther signature. Um, but all good. Glenn says, Dave and send Cesar some flowers and stop this tiff you two have. I send nothing but love towards Cesar. It doesn't always come back. He has an issue with me leaking all his information. his guitar company's information. You know, I keep his private stuff private. Marshall says, I think the real question is, would Dave ever swap his Marshall Code 20 for a Gibson Falcon? Sure, why not? Maybe if he gets sponsored. I mean, absolutely, 100%. If it was sponsored, swap it out, man. No problem. Uh, you'll get Dave's code 20 when you pry it from his cold dead hand. No, you can just have it. It's fine. It's fine. I've no allegiance to my Marshall code 20. Is it 20 or 20? Whatever it is, you can have it. I don't care. No, I'm not sending it out before anyone asks. It's a prop right now that's staying there, and behind it is a shelf of mess where there's loads of stuff just thrown in there. So it's hiding. It's doing a great job right there where it is, and does what I need it to. Uh, so yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. One of these days I'll replace it. Formerly known as T says to Marsha, I'd say an Epiphone version of the Falcon, it would be cabinet with nothing inside it. Who knows? I mean, maybe that's the special feature. Benny Larson says, hope you had a good rest of your night yesterday, Glenn. I looked at the new ESP Limited. The Candy Apple Red Eclipse certainly stands out. Yeah, that actually looks nice. I took a quick look at that this afternoon. The new ESPs. Very, very quick look. But yeah, it looked nice. D-Max says, I played a nice Gibson ES335 today. Had me doing gear math to see how much I could trade and to get the price down a bit. I've got a problem. I we've all been there. How much will you give me for this so I can buy that? Yeah, I've definitely been there. Yeah. Um, there's I think every guitarist has that story at some point. Glenn says, Benny, I did have a good night. I did like the red and the pearl white ESP. James Severin says, they're called Just Give Us All Your Money pickups. Oh, I think they got some surprise Give Us All Your Money products coming out soon. We'll see. We'll see, you know. I mean, my fear is that other companies will be like, oh, it's cost $1,000 for just a basic set of pickups now. Let's pump up our prices. There's always a danger with something like that. T says, go get it, DMAC. Yeah, you get no support here to not have gas. It's what it is. Marcia says, yeah, we empty could put the box from the pickups inside of it. There you go. Why not? William Farr says, Gibson is an evil empire. See, I want to have a good relationship with Gibson, so I don't want to say that, but I get where you're coming from. Series 2 pickups will probably be Murphy Lab relics. Yeah, the 1959. They know not only sound a little bit like the 1959 PAFs, they also look a little bit like some really battered ones, and they're 1500. We left them in Tom Murphy's bathroom for 6 months, and now they're just a little bit, you know, they just have remnants of, they're just like that. You could just tell that they've been there for 6 months. Marshall T says, Glenn is right about the specs, but I think some of us think it's more because it's possible to add a bit more watts with the optional 6L6 power tubes. Again, all I pretty much know is Gibson have amps and they're white, and there's two of them. So I'll take your word for it. Al says, these Gibson pickups are made for collectors, and I bet they never see a guitar. Exactly what I was thinking myself, Al. Yeah, I was mentioning that earlier. I think they've made collectors items. It goes, and that goes back to being a lifestyle brand rather than a guitar company. D-Max has got to sleep on a T. Last week was doing gear math on a Bass Katana artist. I mean, it sounds like you got some serious gas, my friend. They do the same with the guitar 60th anniversary were the best copies ever. Then there was Murphy Lab. Yes, indeed. The closest recreation of X we've ever done. It's like, this is like about the 7th or 8th time they've done the closest recreation ever of the PAFs. Sooner or later, they're going to have to stop saying it. Right. Glenn Bailey says, Marshall, I think the naming is misleading. Falcon 5 and 20, I thought they were more watts till I saw a review. Very interesting. Again, I should look into it more. As I said though, this is not an amp channel. This is a dude talking about guitars, pretending he knows what he's talking about channel. So just as long as you're aware, and actually just a well disguised Steel Panther fan channel. Steve Cassidy guitar says, when I put the new Gibson Bookers in my Harley Benton, I can store the old Roswells in my Offie Bonnie case for like ever. Steve, please make that happen. That would be the greatest video of all time. You know how many people's heads would explode? Just like, oh my God, there's $1,000 pickups in a Harley Benton. That would be fun. Good stuff from you, sir. Richard Clark says, I just wait for the Epiphone LE PAFs to come out. Probably get those bad boys for a cool $6.99. Indeed. Indeed. Why can't they make Epiphone versions that are so close? Yeah, there we go. What are they going to price them at? Ooh, this is going to be fun. I think I've said to you last year at some point, I am expecting them because they're making a big deal of Gibson pickups and Gibson pickup store and all that sort of stuff. They're going to come out with an Epiphone pickup store, uh, or Epiphone pickup range, and they're going to be making a big deal of Epiphone pickups. This is what I was told like middle of last year, some stage. Um, I fully expect it because I can actually see it making sense that they would do that. Because the people who won't pay $1,000 for PAF 1959 humbuckers, they might pay 500 for them, and if just because they have Epiphone on them, they won't care. I mean, it's a pickup at the end of the day. It's not the most complicated piece of engineering that's ever been done, right? So potentially they could do that and get away with it. Who knows? Who knows? I want to know. I actually want them. Maybe they've done this and I haven't seen it, but I want them to release one of their videos showing the process of them making these 1959 humbuckers, and I want to see how they do it differently to how they make their other PAF style pickups. That'll be fun. Because if it is, we just do it the same way, but we put them in this case, I think people will feel a bit robbed. DMAX says the Epi Greenie is over $2,000 Canadian bacon. Just crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Glenn Bailey says, hit the like button, peoples. Yeah, do that. 36 people viewing this stream right now. 26 have hit the like button. So you probably haven't hit the like button. Make sure you do that. It's the best way if you're watching the channel. And actually for 2024, please hit the like button every time you view anything on the channel. It will really help. And I'm hoping to get over 10,000 by the end of the year. It's a huge goal because last year we started on 700 and then we went 7,500 and then we went back down to 7,000. So hopefully we can just progress past that 7,000 mark this year. Once we hit 8, I think we'll steamroller to 9, and then from 9 to 300,000 is just a short little hop. So make sure you hit that like button because that will help out. This channel is like helping the algorithm and all that sort of, or it helps the algorithm helps the channel if you do that. I mean, just hit the buttons. Scott says, if anyone's new here, welcome. You'll have to subscribe. Wait 1 minute before you can chat in the best chat on YouTube. And this one. John Foskey says, Brandawound makes some nice sounding PAF pickups at a good price. Great to see you, John. Thanks for dropping in to see us. That's an interesting point. I'm not sure if Brandawound, I've never heard of them, but I'll have to look that up. Indeed. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of really good PAF sounding pickups out there that don't cost $1,000, right? There's a lot of them. I mean, Gibson makes them. I mean, they say that Pro Bookers and their Epiphones sound like PAF pickups. So yeah, they fall back on that too much. But that's a great idea to look into those. I will look into those at some point in the next few days, once I remember, which is always the thing. Right, let me see. Where are we now? Because I lost my place yet again. Thanks, YouTube. There we go. Glenn Bailey says, there's been a guy near me who's been selling 2 Chibsons on the marketplace for 2 months. Now he only lists one at a time, so he's selling them. That's where the money is in guitars, to be honest. Oh, hi Mark, says Targan. I'm just going to say Targan again. I'm sorry. I can't speak. Good to see you, sir. And nice The Room reference. I appreciate it. And then to take it to court. So it's in case of the case in the case. Case of the case in the case. I like it, sir. I like it indeed. Al says, my life has been so much happier since I unsubscribed from Trogley. Well, sir, that is good to hear. I'm glad your life has been happier. And me too, Al, says Glenn Bailey. Guys, I will say, you're missing out. He puts out quality guitar content every single day. Never a miss. Never. Never does anything that I wouldn't do if I had the opportunity. And I'm just jealous of his success. I think that's what all the people say. Glenn Bailey says, what Dave's behind in the chat to hell you say? I it's unusual that I am behind in the chat, of course. Al says, I brought my Fender gold foil telly into the shop. The strings were not grounded. Strange is that it hums at my house but not at the shop. We'll have to wait for the tech to call. That's interesting, sir. I'm not quite sure what'll be going on there. Wally in the box, great name, sir. Says hello there, great to see you. Thanks for joining us this evening. Glenn says, whatever you do, don't tell David you don't like the Barbie movie. All right, we're gonna have to knock this on the head. Nobody uses David. All right, David is not here, man. All right, it's Chord Dave, not Chord David, and that is the end of that. So, Glenn, you're on timeout warning. Just bear that in mind. Yellow card, sir. Al says, I took a look under the bridge. There's no ground wire, so I'm confused. Interesting, Al. Yeah, maybe something's going on there. I wouldn't know. To be honest. I would. That is something. If that was happening at mine, I'd bring it down to Marty down the road, and he'd figure it out in like 10 seconds. So yeah, but I wouldn't have a clue, sir. Hopefully, someone here will have an idea what it might be. Corey, for example, is a man who would know something like that, I'd imagine. Corey says, hey gang, hope everyone had a great week. I've managed to sell a few pieces this week without acquiring anything else. What's up with that? That is a bit weird, Corey. Yeah. Always got something new coming in and out, which is great. And if you want to check out what Corey's working on, he usually posts in our Facebook group, which is great. Our Facebook group is linked in the description below. You can join us and talk about guitars and music and see things like people like Corey posting pictures of their guitars and what they're working on, which is great. And lots more stuff to come in there as well. Sometimes I even go on Facebook. It happens. So anyway, cheers to all our Facebook people. Speaking of members, you can now join a membership on YouTube for the YouTube channel here. It is, what do you call it? In the description, I think, or it's above it or beside the subscribe button. There's a join button. You can join. There's 3 levels. So I'm going to wind down the Patreon and just shut it down this month. And I've been meaning to do it for a while now, to be honest, because the folks who are on it, I appreciate and have nothing but appreciation and love for. But nobody new is coming over to it, and I think it's maybe because people don't want to leave the platform of YouTube. So the option is now there to join the channel as a YouTube member. Pretty much you get a lot of the same perks. Videos will go up 24 hours early. You'll get exclusive content at the higher levels, and you will also get further down the line members only live streams and stuff like that will happen. So once we get like enough people in the higher levels or higher tiers, so check it out. You can also do gifting memberships and stuff like that if you're feeling generous or something like that. But yeah, check it out if you want to. YouTube is it's not as cool. There's not as many options for different things on YouTube in terms of the membership things, but people are reluctant to come over to Patreon. So if you want to do that, you can now join, and that'll be, I think, from tomorrow. It might even be from today, I'm not sure. So anyway, check it out if you feel like it. And if you don't feel like it, that's fine. You can also buy a Chord Dave t-shirt, and that's there. You can buy a mug, that's there, and this is the thing as well. So those are the things, and I won't mention them anymore on the stream, at least this evening. Okay, phew, that got that off my chest. Bug Lips is here. Great to see you, sir. Hope you're all doing. Hope you are doing well. Hope not all of you, just you. Obviously, all of the people. I just meant not all the Bug Lips. I never mind. Glenn says I enjoyed Carl's stream. I'll be joining more streams. I liked it, and I barely watch movies. Yeah, he just needs to get more comfortable with doing it, and he's a bit more nervous than I think he realized. But he's all good. I thought he did a good job. And it's hard. I mean, I think like Steve Cassidy's here, he'll tell you it's not straightforward and super easy doing live streams, especially when you're by yourself and you do feel like you got to drive the conversation. You got to keep going. It's even no matter how prepared you are, I don't think you can be as prepared as you need to be to actually get it. Get in the flow of doing live streams. It's not an easy skill. So those who get up to it, I think, are really, really good. And I appreciate a lot of them. Getting into watching more live streams than actual videos on YouTube nowadays. Ben Allmark says, Dave must be getting another beer. No, not on that one. Not at that time. Still a good bit to go on this one, but I told Glenn I'd promise I'd finish. So, he has a real issue with me not finishing beer, apparently. Which, again, just in case anyone's wondering, I always finish the beer. It's just that I tend to do more talking than drinking on the show because that's just how it is. And I'm not John Robson before anyone says it. I know. Again, it's different styles. Everyone has a different style on their live stream. T says no, he's still on his first. And Glenn says Vegas odds are 100 to 1 that Dave gets halfway through the beer at halfway part of the stream. I mean, hey, it's about that way, isn't it? Because I did top it up, don't forget. Al says over under that Dave makes it here without skipping. And Glenn says under. All right, well, there you go. We got here without skipping. So I don't think I skipped anything. T says I wouldn't be putting my money on that bet, but one good slug could do it. I gotta take it easy. That's my if my throat gets tickly or dry, elixir to make me feel better again, so I can keep talking even further. Let me see. I ought to have at least one new guitar within 30 days, says Bug Lips. Awesome stuff, Bug Lips. Can't wait to hear about it. You've done some good stuff with that Donner, and you've been enjoying the journey from what I hear. So from what you tell us, so yeah, it's exciting, exciting. Formerly known as T says, nice one, Bug Lips, and Bug Lips says, I'm just holding out to see if anyone else needs to go to Long and McQuaid too. I see what you're doing. If nobody does, then I'll just get it delivered. There you go. Scott said, lol, I was just there. I'm always there. I can let you know next time I go out. So there you go. Great stuff. Benny says, what are you in the market for? I'm looking for a JS22 Dinky, but if they run out of LH in the meantime, I might get a Kramer. There you go. LH being left hand. Left hand. Yeah, there you go. Nothing wrong with either of those options. Scott says, I'm at Long and McQuaid at least once a week. So if you want to know where to catch Scott, Bogfoot, Long and McQuaid's, that's where you'll find him. Oh, that'd be deadly, Bogfoot, which is I thought that was a uniquely Irish saying, but there you go. It's not, apparently. Bugler says, if I can get a Dinky, I might get an LT25 amp to go with it. There you go. I mean, it's all coming together. Get Victor to set it up for you and pay like $15 a year for a warranty, and you'll never have any issues with the guitar. So there you go. The work for Long and McQuaid is already done by Bogfoot, which is nice. So, I hear they have him on retainer to sell their services, which I approve of. I think he does a great job at all he does. Yeah, the JS series Jacksons are, in my experience, pretty solid. Bug Lips and Bogfoot, says Benny Larson. Bug Lips says, all right, well, if we're going to Long and McQuaid, and can get me, let me know in advance, we can do it up and much appreciated. Give me a chance to browse. Good stuff, sirs. Good stuff. I'd go with you, but I don't live anywhere near there. So the Marshall is a stuntman prop to hide mess. I hope he gets good benefits. By the way, you've been saying you'd get a new amp since this channel launched. Yeah, I've been saying I'd get a new amp when I lived in a place that I could use it. Because I don't want to get a big amp. I want to get a really, like a kind of amp that I'll use forever. My forever amp. and I just can't. Like, I didn't expect to live here for as long. That's the thing. I've lived in this house for, this is my fourth year since we moved in. I thought we'd be here maybe 2 years, um, max. Probably thought 1 year, but then it's turned into this because the market has gone crazy, and getting a place where I actually want to live, even out in the countryside where I can just turn up and nobody gives a fuck, is just too expensive. I would rather spend my money on other ridiculous things. And I've been saving up to buy a house, but the housing market again is just crazy as well. So the for house prices, so for purchase, so yeah, at the minute it's just wait until either the market comes down or somebody like hands me $200,000 euros, or as to go on top of my other savings. So just as you mentioned, Marcia, if everybody wants to like super chat $200,000, that'd be great. So I can move to the house where I can buy a decent amp. That's my goal for 2024. Super chat $200,000. It's gonna be a long road. By the way, we all need an amp to hide shelf mess. That's a marketing idea. I mean, Gibson should have hired me a long time ago. I know it's a Marshall one, but I'm not playing their game until they hire me. Booklip says Samurai guitarist was showing off guitar organ, guitargan. No, I want one. I haven't seen that, but I think I saw him at NAM. He was at NAM last year doing a presentation on how to be a guitar YouTuber. As you can tell, I've taken all of his tips and used them. Um, they were good tips. I just didn't use them. Oh, I saw that. It's awesome. I would totally play guitargan. Okay. Imagine rocking that in Madison Square Garden. I just dream of rocking guitars at Madison Square Garden. But there you go. Benny says, that's right, Marcia. That's why I need yet another amp. It's not me, it's my mess. Yeah, amps are good for covering up mess. I mean, that's what they were initially invented for. And someone figured out you could play guitar through them. That most people don't tell you that story about the history of amps, but that's where it all started. Um, Marcia says a small bass amp. Check out those new Jamstack too. You work for Jamstack, don't you? They're really incredible and punch way above their weight. I've seen several basses with it. It's really good for bass if you want really small. Sounds like a sales pitch. It's all good. Targan says I'd get a guitargan just to play in the Garden of Eden. Um, love me some rock and or roll. Indeed, sir. That's exactly why you should play it. Steve Cassidy guitar says, have you heard any more about the Gibson for sale rumor? No, I haven't. Weirdly, there was nothing about it. It just died. I don't know um, where those guys got that information from. And nobody I have spoken to, and I have spoken to a few people who would normally tell me things that are going on, and they had no clue or heard anything about it either. So I don't know. I think it might have just been a rumor at this point, because I surely would have had some information back at this point. But then again, maybe they just saw that one podcast was talking about it and shut up shop. I really don't know. Also, I know for a fact that I have been fed information from Gibson, from a couple of people who give me Gibson information, that was a blatant, let's see if you're leaking information story. Let's see where the leak's coming from over the last year or so. Like, just told stories and been like, oh, I don't think I'll talk about that. And then it hasn't been a thing. So it could be one of those. It could be they're just trying to find out where their leaks are coming from. And so they're putting out like silly information, see if where it pops up. I don't know. I don't think it's true anymore because it's been so quiet. Somebody in my network would have known about it, would know information, and nobody has anything. So until we hear more, I mark it down, Steve, as not in the BS file, but in the potential BS file. Um, Good way to make a video go viral, say Gibson are for sale again. I'm not suggesting that's the case, but if I made a video like that, that's what I'd be hoping would happen. Um, and my comment section would be full of people saying, what are your sources? And I don't have any that can accurately give any more information on it. So I'm just thinking it was a rumor that they heard and they started talking about it, and then it makes it for a good video. I'm hoping that's what happened. Um, but yeah, it'd be cool if they did get sold, but I don't think it's happening. Um, let's see where else now, because I've got a whole load of stuff dropped in on top of me. One more time from YouTube, because it does that. We're talking about bets again. Oh, no, because that was earlier. Um, who asked me that about the... It was Steve. All right, there we go. Are the pickups and amps a distraction? I don't think so, mate. I think they're, I think that story isn't true. Like, honestly, I don't think so. But if I find, as soon as I find anything out, I'll make some sort of video about it, because it'll be a big story. But I don't think they want us on YouTube talking about it. So maybe it is a distraction. Grandma Joe says, greetings, everyone. I hope you are safe and warm. It's a brisk 20 degrees Fahrenheit here on Staten Island. We'll stay warm, Grandpa Joe. That is cold, but yeah, take care of yourself. Graham Hatton says, do you think £1,000 pickups are meant to be used or displayed? I think if they're pickups, they're meant to be used. But I think they will be displayed. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't think many of them will find their way into guitars, and if they do, I think they will be few and far between, or they'll be put into guitars that are never used, like an R9 or something, and they'll be like, oh, they've got the closest recreation of PAFs ever. So yeah, I don't think most of them will ever be used, which is funny because I've only just thought of this during the live stream. It means that the Gibson don't actually have to ensure all of those work. They don't have to be accurate recreations of the PAF pickup at all. They're just good marketing will sell them, and most people will never use them. They'll just point at them and say, those are what they are. Those are 59 humbuckers. The closest recreation of all time. Until, of course, the next series, because these are series one. The series two will be out, and they'll have to be the closest recreation when they come out, right? Um, so yeah, I think majority. I think of the 1,000 sets that they're going to make, I would be surprised if 50 sets ever play a note, ever get used for music in any way, shape, or form, and the rest will probably never come out of their packaging. They won't come out of that fancy case. So, which is a shame. Or maybe say 900 will go into, will stay in the case, and another 50 will go into guitars but never be used. They'll go into guitars, as I said, like an R9 or something like that. And people will be like, this is the closest thing to a 59. It cost me like $6,000 to get it all set up, everything. That's amazing considering how much you'd pay, blah, blah. I think it's I think it's great marketing, but they genuinely don't have to be in it, because most people who are going to buy them won't know anything about them other than what the marketing says. I'd be that. If I bought them, I'd be like, well, marketing says that's what they are, so that's what they must be. There's only a handful of people, I think, who would buy something like that, who will know how to tell whether they are or are not. Um, I suppose I shouldn't be saying here that Gibson are being dishonest. I'm just saying they don't have to be what they're marketing, as long as their marketing is good, because people won't likely use them. Uh, Bar a few YouTubers who might do some videos, and it's gonna be very hard to tell from YouTube sound whether they are good or not. So, anyways, it's a great question, Graham, and yeah, I think that's my answer. I think I gave a solid answer there. Mark says, that's a good question, Steve. Nobody else seems to be talking about that. Has anyone tried to talk to the guys that posted the vid to ask them where they heard about Gibson being for sale? I had a busy week. I didn't reach out to them. I know Andy the Guitar Geek was on there. I saw he was on their next episode, I think. So I don't know if it came up again in their latest episode or whatever. I haven't subscribed to them yet. I need to see solid information that they're putting out good stuff. I don't know. I know there's quite a small channel. Um, when the news broke, I don't know if they're a bigger channel now. Maybe a lot of people subscribe to them over that news, waiting for more updates. That's what I hope would happen. If I was them. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, if I get a chance, I'll try and reach out to them next over the next week or so and see. But I don't know if I'm going to get a chance, because, as I said, I have to go to my day job every day. It leaves me very little time, and I've got other things I want to do rather than reach out to folks all the time. But it's, I mean, look, they got it from somewhere. I just have not seen anybody else talk about it, which makes me wonder about its validity. Um, Stevie Max says I hit like on the way in. Oh, and I also wiped my feet as well. Good stuff, Stevie. Thank you. Appreciate that. Most people don't bother wiping their feet, so it's that extra step that makes me really appreciate what you do. Glenn says Scott should look at Ampeg CL 2x10 100 watt 10-inch bass stack. It's small and pushes some vintage air. I love mine. All right. Well, it's a nice thing. Targan says, need to clap your hands and shout, smash that like button. It's like a spell that works every time. All right, let's try it. Smash that like button. That's the best I can do. Smash it. Smash. Is it like, where is it? It's here. No. Here. Hit the like button. This is like right here. I don't know where it is. I can't see it on my screen, but hit it. It's worth it. You get extra cool points. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Graham Joe says, hello, Scott. How much snow did you have up north for me? I think they had lots. Marcia says, Graham Hatton, hey, we were talking about that. Dave says he's worried people will never use those pickups in guitars and will keep them on a shelf in the case. Yeah. I think if you break it down, very few of them, 10% are going to get used. That's my actual thought. And for the like 5% in guitars, just for that's what's in there, and 5% will be used as pickups. I think. I mean, look, there's plenty of people who have a lot more money than I do. They might be like $1,000 for pickups. Do it. I don't care about money, and they just spend $1,000 in pickups, and they're happy to play them, and they don't care. They're like, these are the greatest sounding pickups because Gibson told me they're the greatest sounding pickups. So yeah, just I'm saying 5% of people. So I don't know. Graham also says, don't worry about it, that their choice seems silly to me. I bought a whole Les Paul Jr. for about 600 only a few years ago. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2019 was a golden age for kick-ass Gibson prices. I mentioned many times my SG um, special, my Gibson SG special was €599. Just 5 years ago now. Yeah, it was about 5 years ago next month. Maybe it was in March. I mean, that's a huge uh to be able to buy a guitar for that money now. There's not a hope. You wouldn't even really get a used Gibson unless there's something wrong with it. So yeah, crazy times. And just for a pickup or set of pickups, I think it's bunkers. But that's just me. I don't have $1,000 pickup money. So again, unless super chats go to 200,000 per year, and like, I don't know, 4,000 members join, and also my job gives me like accidentally gives me a 400% pay rise, 500% pay rise. Um, yeah. And also gives me the 500% pay rise and cuts my required number of hours down in half. That's all I want from them. 5 times the pay, half the work. I think that's fair. Targan says, that made me laugh. Life's better when you unsub from Trackley. I need to point out, I didn't say that. I think Al said it. And I'm just happy for anybody who has followed that advice. Glenn says, hi Graham, I think most of those $1,000 pups will never see the inside of a guitar. I agree. Halfway through the show, just opened second Erdinger. No pressure, Dave. Just saying. Dudes, we can sit here and drink 10 beers if you want. I won't say a whole lot, but just drink a beers. Cushman NIC is here. Says, hello, peoples. Hello, Cushman. Great to see you, my friend. Hope all's good with you and you're staying nice and warm over there. But yeah, sláinte, sir. All right. Not a whole lot, Joe. Had some rain. Lots of ice now. But there you go. Not a whole lot of snow, but a lot of ice. Well, there you go. We're learning something new. Let me see what else we got. Graham, it would be a shame if people got those pickups to keep on a shelf if they're really that good, says Marcia. Yeah, but they're $1,000, Marcia. What are you gonna do? Collector's edition. They're because they're billed as a collector's edition, they will hold their value, more of their value, if they're kept in their original packaging. So if you're going to buy them and you think the price is going to appreciate, you got to keep them in their packaging. This is how it works. It's why so many people do buy collector's edition guitars and never play them. The doctor dentist argument. Yeah, it's one of those. Now, those of us who are in the, most of my guitars will be under $1,000 and most of my, like maybe I'll have one guitar that costs more than that, or maybe I will never spend more than 500 on a guitar. Like all those of us who are in that kind of bracket, will look at like pickups at under 1,000 and be like, that's crazy. But others, like people who have all that money, where $1,000 for a set of pickups is no big deal, they're looking at us like, well, hey, if you can't afford them, that's your problem. And that's the argument I've seen bounced around in certain chat groups and stuff online. Or it's your problem if you don't have enough money to buy them. But I don't look at it like that. I don't think they will significantly improve any guitar. They won't make any guitar player better. They won't make anyone sound any better, if you're already playing PAF style pickups. So that's just my um, that's just my 2 cents on it. I mean, I could go on, but I'll try to only do 2 or 3 more rants about those pickups later in the rest of the show. We've only got half an hour to go, so I'm sure we'll figure it out. Glenn Bailey says, I got a timeout for a spell check error. Sorry, Glenn, listen, you got a yellow card. Just a timeout warning. Just be careful with your spell check, all right, sir? Steve Cassidy says, Dave, Ori, David, I have the exact same gripe when people call me Steven. For some reason, it feels like I'm in trouble when I get called that. I was even speaking to my mom today, and she said David, and she corrected herself. She was like, sorry. So not even my mom anymore gets to say David, all right? So there you go. So it's just how it is. Graham says, my AVR Telecaster didn't have a grounding on the bridge when I got it. So you go, Al, maybe something in that. Scott says, I had big wood splinters in my hand right there from fret ends touch me. Right where the fret ends touch me. I mean, that's less than ideal. um, so yes, less than ideal indeed. Scott's also put in the link for the Facebook group there, way up. I know I'm way behind you guys, but you can check it out. Grandpa Joe says he's talking to Kushma, so I'll just leave that just in case things get going. 3 levels, are they junior, standard, and custom? They're not, but that's what I should have called them. Damn it. Yeah, there's something. I think it's hero, legend, and something else. It's, it's all on the thing. Um, Independence Day reference before the trigger. Oh wait, let me see. Did I miss something? Oh, you'd all be dead if it wasn't for my David. Yes, indeed, that's a very, very niche reference. I like it. Targan. Well done. Giggler doesn't mind if I call him Austin. Well, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. As you will note, I don't do anything on this channel in the same way that Mr. Trogley runs his channel. So it's quite different around here. For many a reason. Probably why it's not as successful. Thank you for asking, Grandma Joe. Huey has shoes with thick rubber soles, and he has a snowsuit that's rated to -30. He has to go poop outside. Service dogs can't ever think going inside is an option. All right. 49 C says, I keep meaning to join the Patreon, Dave. The Patreon, apologies, Dave. No worries, my friend. It's all good. As I said, we're going to transist. That's not the right word. Transition. That's the word. To YouTube memberships instead. Pretty much the same levels are going to be there. Support at any level that you want. If you want to suggest a level as well, feel free. I can change it up a little bit. And I'll do some polls and stuff and try and get more information. I can add kind of more interactive things directly linked to YouTube. I don't have to be like, oh, this has to. Because what happens with Patreon is I upload the video to Patreon, I forget to upload it to YouTube, and instead of 24 hours, it's like a 48 hour or sometimes a 72 hours before it appears on YouTube. So it'll make it a little bit easier for me as well to be over there. So it's no worries, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Steve Cassidy says, I find live streams an even mix of stress and enjoyment. Sir, I would agree with you there. What happens with me is a lot, actually not today, but a lot of the time I get stressed out before. I'm like, oh God, like I'll wake up on Saturday morning and be like, oh, I got to do a live stream tonight. That's how's it going to go? Is it going to, and I'll be thinking about it for hours and hours and hours. And then I don't know, just before the show, I generally just calm down and it just takes off. And there was one week where there was like nobody here. Uh, I think it was the week just before Christmas, and I'd said the week before I wasn't doing a live stream. Then I forgot that I wasn't going to do it, and I did it anyway. And yeah, there was like nobody here. It was like three people in the chat before the show started, and I was like, "Where is everybody? What's going on?" And then it was like, "Well, there's boxing on, and there's you said you weren't doing a live stream this week, so everyone's doing something else." So, okay. So there you go. But yeah, most weeks I'm like stressed up until about an hour before, and then I calm down, and it's all good. And then yeah, I tend to enjoy it most weeks. There was a fight one week in the comments. I didn't enjoy that week. I have to be honest with you. That one was kind of stressful. But it ended with someone leaving the channel, never coming back. I wasn't having the fight. Someone else was, and yeah, it was a weird week. But hey, 2024. Let's all be no fights in the comment sections. But yeah, most weeks are good, and I agree with you. They are very enjoyable. You get to meet a lot more people than you do just popping out videos, I think, and it's like I've met you a lot of the guys who are here. Like I've been speaking to them now for a couple of years at least. I'd say most of them. So which is all good, and it's a nice little community builds up. It's really good, and then we kind of you see people on other channels. I joined your stream on Friday, Steve, and like there was lots of people that I was seeing. Like, oh, that person comes to my channel, or like it was Ben Omar was there, Benny was there, and Grandpa Joe was there. A few other folks that I was seeing in the chat. I mean, I wasn't there. I was working. I was at my day job doing my day job stuff, but I heard that they were there from somebody. Marshall D says, and the good actually stays on, keeps his ears covered. Only a few parts are exposed. Oh, okay. This channel does sometimes veer into dog clothing. Uh, um, anyways, all good. Stevie Max says, Steve Cassidy guitar. I bet live stream is like getting a tattoo, sore at the time, but strangely addictive when it's done. Um, it's not it's not terribly far from how it actually is. Yeah. I think it's not quite a good analogy to be fair. Oh, hang on. I've gone too far back. Where was I? No, I was past that. I was past that. Yeah, sometimes we delve into dog chat. Well, just Huey chat mostly. Just if anyone's new here is wondering what's going on. Yeah, I bet live stream is a. I think when you're getting started with doing live streams, it's very nerve wracking. That's what I felt anyway. I remember being very nervous initially. Now it's just like I gotta pump out a live stream. It's not so nerve wracking anymore. But I have done 108 of them at this point, so it should be something I'm used to at this point. Glenn says, do the kids down the block rehearse in the winter, or do they get a break from the feedback? No, Glenn, they do not take a break. They were out there on Thursday. They started about 4 and they finished about 7. I don't think they're kids. I think they're fully grown ups. I think they're older dudes and they should know better. But they're still doing the same thing. They're still doing the same thing. It's driving me crazy. And the annoying thing is, I don't know where exactly they are because it just fills the whole entire area with sound. Not always good sound. Some they're getting better, just not much better. Yeah, it's mostly just feedback sounds from their guitarist, and I just love to knock on their door and be like, "Come here," I want to show you. Just do this. Make these two changes. You'll be fine. But yeah. But I get it. I get it. They love the sound of screeching feedback. That's all they want to hear. Um, Let me see. I like Capri Orange. Like the Fendi. Oh, hang on. Where? The photo behind you makes me want a Capri Orange Les Paul. This one, yeah, that's Slash's guitar. So it's not as I don't know. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's the first burst or something like that. It's one of it's yeah, it's one of those. It's not as Jessica or anything like that. It's his 59. I think it's the first burst is the one that's on the cover of the book. So yeah, Capri Sun Orange. It's weird when you get a you get something like that in your head and you're like, ah, I love a Capri Sun Orange Les Paul, or just a Capri Orange. Sorry, Capri Orange. I saw Capri. I thought Capri Sun. Don't know why. Never haven't had one of those since I was a kid. But there you go. Capri Orange, like the Fender color. There you go. Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Even though I know it's a sunburst, it is. It's well, cherry sunburst. Hmm. I like it though. That is a nice color. The Capri Orange. I mean, it's a nice color. Steve Cash says, Steve Mack, thankfully I can't relate to the tattoos. I have an addictive personality. Never had a tat. Would end up covered. Yes, I know what you mean. I also have no tattoos, but I feel if I got one, I'd be like, yeah, let's get another one. And then that'd just keep happening. So who knows what'll happen some night drunk in Vegas. Because they do have tattoo parlors that stay open while people are drunk. It's a bad idea. So anyway, Benny says, that's what you get here, TCD. You don't get anywhere else. The true history of guitar amps, not even 5 Watt World, will give you that. Yeah, if anyone missed it, guitar amps were initially just there to hide messes behind them. Because let me tell you, there's a mess right behind that one. Just empty boxes shoved into a square of an IKEA shelf unit, which is the original purpose of guitar amps. Until somebody plugged a guitar in and was like, hey, this works. Anyways, T says, I think those boys read an old article of when Gibson was up for sale. Possibly, yeah. Target says, I know they put out BS stories, but Gibson did tell me that they were planning on changing the name of the Les Paul to MGK because it'll help sales. Shush, don't tell anyone. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. It's come from authentic channels. Right there. Benny says, my lips are sealed. And you can trust them. You can trust Benny. You can't trust me, but you can trust Benny. Kramer seems to make left-handers in a selection of colors. That's nice. I appreciate that. I mean, most left-handers, but I do feel sorry for our left-handed buddies because they get left out of so many cool guitar releases. It's almost bordering on unfair. I've kind of made a bit of a campaign of making fun of guitar companies when they release new guitars that are right-handed only. If you watch a lot of my videos commenting on new releases that are only right-handed, I will make a point of saying, everyone knows left-handed people don't play guitar. And that's why they don't make left-handed versions of this, whatever it might be. But yeah, it is pretty bad for the lefties. So glad some companies are looking after you, even if they're subsidiaries of bigger companies who don't look after you so well. Let me see. Okay, Buglip says, it's the kind of thing that maybe you don't think about if you're right-handed, but I'm so desperate for something not sunburst or black, I'd play bubblegum pink. There's nothing wrong with bubblegum pink. Ask Steve. Steve Cassidy Guitar will tell you bubblegum pink is a nice color for a guitar, right, Steve? Mark says, I tried searching my photos and that was a major fail. I had to scroll manually. All right. Long and McQuaid website has it so you can browse left-handed. That's a great idea. I don't think I've seen that anywhere else. So maybe, I mean, I don't go to like Sweetwater and what's Guitar Center's musician's friend, is it? Or American Music Supplies. I don't go to their websites all that often, so maybe. Glenn says, my company pays out 10K if I get killed on the job so I can get an R9. Those 1K pickups. I'll never be able to enjoy them, but put the pups in the guitar and bury me with it. Yeah, do that, but just let me know where Glenn is buried so I can pay my respects. Rock and Rob 2004 says, that beer is not very Irish. Cheers, David. Again, we've been through this David thing. San Miguel's actually very Irish. If you go on the San Miguel tour in Manila, they will tell you that it's San Miguel was actually Irish himself. No, but I mean, cheers anyway. T says, I'd love to hear what the conversation would be like after 10 beers. Chat would be like a game of Chinese whispers. I mean, I feel like I would be the only one drinking the 10 beers, and the rest of you would just be like, this is going to be hilarious. Let's see how Dave like manages to make a fool of himself. Um, which I would indeed make quite a fool of myself, I'm sure. Um, Scott says, Ron, good pickups gives you confidence and makes you a better player. I mean, okay, Scott, if that's, I won't argue with you. I'll just think that you're wrong. But yeah, I mean, some people will, there are people who will tell you having like your dream guitar will make you a better player because you're more in tune with it. You're more confident. You feel like a better player holding a different guitar. So you'll play more confidently and better. Um, I don't know. I mean, I've definitely at times picked up guitars and been like, "Oh, I'm playing pretty sweet tonight," or this guitar feels great. I'm playing amazing through this guitar." And I just feel like that's just a vibe what you have with a guitar. Some guitars fit you better. You will just have a better feeling with certain guitars than others. I think that's what that comes down to. I really feel like pickups um I yes, they can make a difference, 100%. Better quality pickups will make you sound better, but your playing won't improve. It's just that it'll sound better through better pickups. Like obviously they're microphonic or something, they're going to sound crap. But who knows? Maybe they're magic pickups. Maybe they give you all the ability of your favorite guitar player. That would be pretty cool. That'd be worth $1,000. So just feeling like. Rockin' Robs 2004 says, sorry, Dave. I said David. Cheers. I'll forgive you, Rob. It's okay. No worries. Formerly known as Cecil San Miguel, St. Michael, named after an Irish saint. True story. Honest. See? Absolutely. Irish people can put themselves in anywhere. Marcia says, Dave, it's like Beanie Babies. Buy two, keep one in the original packaging and the value for the value, and use the other one for fun. Look up Beanie Baby infomercial guy. Let me just ask you a question. What kind of fun were people having with Beanie Babies? Were people not just buying them as collector's items, hoping that they'd be worth billions in the future? Um, I seem to remember that craze being like all about if you got X Beanie Baby, it was worth $1 million or something. Or I can't even remember, but yeah, yeah. Richard Clark says good pickups can also make you want to play different stuff and more of it, improving your skills that way also. That's an interesting way to look at it, Richard. And yeah, that's not wrong. Like as I said, you might feel like you sound better, which will make you feel like playing more and make you feel like you're getting, and then you'll get better because you're putting in more time. So yeah, that's definitely something. It's not actually a because of the pickups though. It's because of your extra effort. Um, I feel. But yeah, I mean, definitely there will be people who might be like, these are the pickups that are going to make me as good as Slash, and I hope that works out for them. Scott Bogman says I had to cut the splinter out with a linoleum knife, butchered. I hope you're all right, Scott. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. Take care of yourself, and yeah, I'm worried about you now, sir. Be well, I hope. Yeah, well, you're still typing, so it should be all right. You should be all right. So, um, where was I? Where was I? This is the worst thing about live streams, is that I use OBS now, and still like other live stream programs, when I'm in OBS, I need to go through this chat thing, and it just drops chats in when it wants to on top of me, and then I lose my place. You think when it drops the new ones in, it would just bring you back up to where you were, but no, it doesn't do that. Marsh says, oh, I fully agree those pickups won't sound any better than anything else out there. Hey, someone needs to use them to verify the claims. They could be collector dummies for all we know. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Pun intended. I wasn't going to go there, but I get what you're saying. You should always buy three of everything: one to keep, one to display, and one to sell. Well, Glenn, that's. I mean, look. To be honest with you, I do think if you were smart enough to, and you had the money lying around to buy five sets of these, you will probably next week sell them all for at least a 50% profit on top. So you could make a good bit of money if you did buy some sets of these last week. But how many of us did? That's the question. How did you buy one? Did you buy a set? I didn't. Bargain Musician is closing up. Guess no left-handed flying V kit for me. Um, oh, that sucks, Bug Lips. But maybe I mean if they make kits somewhere, they must be available. Um, Scott says, "Is there a three-chord Dave tour people can take?" No. It would be a very boring tour. I mean, I don't even know what would go into such a thing, but yeah, we can. I mean, if you want to put one together, feel free. Um, you can charge people whatever. Give me like a 10% commission. I'm all good with it. Um, Bucklip says, if I have a fight with Bugfoot, we'll take it outside, or I'll just go to his house, whichever. Challenge him to a duel outside Darnell's pub. Um, all right, fists at dawn. Sounds good. Sounds good. Rockin' Rob says, Rico Dave, do you happen to know Ryan, the Irish chef that's currently on Hell's Kitchen? Um, I don't know who's on Hell's Kitchen at the moment, but let me look at it. It's probably on the internet. Um, Ryan, Irish chef, Hell's Kitchen. I already watched Hell's Kitchen. So Ryan worked for two of Cork's biggest hotels before he was offered a job by a U.S. recruiting firm, and now he's blah 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 blah. Let's see. Ryan O'Sullivan. No, I do not recognize him. He looks like a stable individual. They're not the kind of people I hang around with. Uh, hello to all my friends who are watching. No, sorry, I did not, Rob. He seems to be from Cork, which is I've only been to Cork twice. Both times direct to the Cork airport, and then straight home. It's about an hour and a half away, 2 hours. Glenn Bailey says, I think Viking cruise lines are going to start offering a stop in Ireland, kiss the Blarney Stone, and tour the Chord Dave neighborhood. Blarney Stone is quite far away, so yeah, it's on the wrong side of the country. So yeah, no, I don't. I mean, if someone sets that up, fair play to them. It'll be fun. Again, 10%, 10%. Uh, again, I'm trying to make $200,000 this year, mostly through YouTube. So we'll see how that goes. Thousand. So got a bit of way to go, but we'll see. Richard Clark says the kids by me that rehearsed finally moved to the next ones played too. Now I have to listen to New Kids on the Block. Oh man. I mean, are they playing New Kids on the Block? that, that would be pretty funny. Um, Mood C word that I cannot say on YouTube commercial just popped on. Now I wonder. Uh, it's probably not nothing to do with me. I don't know. Buglip says if you already have a silver tongue and kiss the stone, what happens? Does it become more silver, more gold, more pure gold stolen by aliens? Then it becomes mega silver. So yeah, you got to look into that. I can't tell you about mega silver. It's a secret. Uh, Dave should get a tattoo of Harv Vilashev. I don't think I should, but thanks. Ooh, silver tongue burst. That's very rock and roll. I mean, maybe Adam Jones, if you're listening. Dave, tattoo of Muddy takes up a lot of real estate on his body, not a lot of room for more tats. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Target says, here I am waiting for an ambidextrous guitar. Uh, I mean, I guess that could be a thing. I don't know. I mean, do you want like a fretboard on either side? Just like you could play whichever side you want, or do you want it flippable? Um, I don't know, but yeah, sounds fun. Sounds fun. Um, Steve Cassidy says, bubblegum pink, yes, please. There you go. I do think, and this is the thing that I think only come to realize in the last year, like blue and pink is such a great combination on a guitar. You get the match the two colors well, and I think it looks great. So yeah, you're onto something there, Steve. Let's be fair. Al says, watch out, a silver tongue might get you sued. Being confused with a silver burst guitar. Yeah, you can't use the word silver no matter what you're talking about. Gibson will sue you because it might sound like silver burst. Um, and also, PRS might sue you if you use the name Theodore or Ted or McCarthy um, for anything other than guitars. Just saying. Just don't use those names. If you got a kid named Ted or Theodore, change his name because you're going to get sued. Um, thanks, Al. Yeah, obviously referencing the court case I made a video about this week. Times, what a time we live in. Richard Clark says, making a guitar company for only lefties would be a huge gamble in this day and age. It would also make someone very wealthy. It's very true. It's very true. Lefties are left out. I'm sorry, but they are. It's pretty bad. Al says there's a store in Florida that only sells lefty guitars. I think I've heard of that. Yeah, I think In the Blue Shane from In the Blues went there because he's a lefty, of course. Great guitar channel, by the way. Always loved his stuff. Does some great reviews on guitars. Booklip says, it'd just be nice if I could call up the store, say what I want, pick a color, get it in a month or so later, even if it costs extra. Yeah, I mean, it does definitely feel um, unfair that you can't do that because the rest of us can do that. We just go on a website, pick a guitar, there you go. Um, so yeah, not to be rubbing it in your face, like, but we can do that. You can't. Haha. Michael Angelo Battio has ambidextrous guitars. Check it out, says Richard. And T says, I'd be joining that session, the 10-point session. Yeah, why not? Be good fun. Oh, lol, I didn't even know Kramer was a sub of Gibson. Yes, indeed. Targan says to Richard Clark, hey, yeah, that double neck of his is ridiculous. Love his guitars. Watch that Rob Scallon video on his collection. Scott Bogford says, yeah, they don't scream Gibson like Epiphone do. True? Well, not yet. Person says, those $1,000 pickups are almost certainly unpotted. Most Gibson pups are. True. Most of them are. Imagine filling them with wax. The thing is, what's happened with those $1,000 pickups is everyone's talking about Gibson. Gibson are very good at getting people to talk about them in any way whatsoever. So like they don't care. They 100% follow that rule that or I should say that saying that there's no such thing as bad publicity because people are talking about those pickups. Some people super defensive about them. Some people like ourselves being like, hey, I'm not going to pay $1,000 for pickups. But I think I think they don't care. They just like that people are talking about Gibson. So they've done their job in that regard. Targan says everyone thinks Gibson is expensive, but just imagine how much a Gibdad would cost. There it is, the worst joke I've ever made. Yes. The Gibson is expensive, but the Gibdad, that was more original, so it's even more expensive. It is pretty much a dad joke right there. Solo music gear in Canada had several lefty kits last time I looked, says Benny. And Buglip says, yep, but no V's. Reach out to them and be like, hey, you want a V's? I want a left-handed flying V. You never know. They might be working on something. And there's a lot of guitar kit companies that you might not have heard of. Maybe they'll do something for you or be able to put something together. You never know. You will probably have to pay more, I think, but than a right-handed version. But there's ways and means, as they say. Rock and Rob says, thanks for looking Chef up. Way cool, bro. Things like that and the rest of your humor show is why I stop by always. So thanks, Rock and Rob. Hey, listen, what did it take? 10 seconds. It's not a big deal. But I appreciate it, sir. And thanks so much for coming. So as often as you do, appreciate that. Yeah, happy to do stuff like that. Buglip says, I look for kits of body styles I couldn't normally find, but most kits are body styles I can just buy. It's my bad karma from a previous life or something. There you go. You should have been better in your previous lives, man. Uh, Scott says that's an interesting observation. I never thought about it like that. And I don't know. You're talking about Bug Lips being having bad karma for his previous life. Interesting. We'll see. Fister Roboto says, "Sorry, I just came home from a show. Hope you didn't miss too much, and a wonderful evening to everyone." Well, good evening to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining us. Mercer says, "Al, there's a lefty guitar store. How long have they been in business? A while. A while. I think I saw Shane's video about it about a year ago. So, yeah, check out In the Blues." His YouTube channel, really, really good channel. Just throw it in there in the comment section. Hey, Chord Dave told me about your channel. He doesn't know who the hell I am, but I'd like to know. I like him to know that I sent 10,000 people go to his channel. But yeah, he's very good lefty guitar player from Australia, and I think he went on a tour of places in the States, and one of those was a lefty guitar shop, lefty only guitar shop. It's very cool. Rock and Rob says, "Here's my question: what does ambidextrous guitar come from? Does that ambidextrous guitar come to truss rod or an untrusted rod?" All right, I think the bad jokes are getting too much, guys. Well, come on now. Steve Cassidy there says, "Are leftoriums still a thing, or was that just Ned Flanders' only deal?" It's a great question. I hope Ned is like the king of handed people still. Um, yeah, Leftorium. That was a fun episode. Well, if someone finds a way to easily flip the nut so the strings are properly aligned, that would solve the issue of righty versus lefty guitars. I mean, yeah, but the guitar is still backwards in a lot of guitars. So like your controls and everything are in the wrong place. When you have then flipped it. So yeah, give and take. But yeah, I remember Paul McCartney saying that's what he did. He just flipped the nut on his on the guitar that he was lying around his house, and played the guitar then as a lefty. Right. That's a hell of a snowsuit he has, Marcia says. Hang on. Where are we? Well, if someone finds yeah, okay. Is it open to non-Facebookers? Marcia, that's the question from Benny. I'm sure you put it somewhere. Let's see what else have we got. The puke chucker. What the hell? Oh, the lefty guitars. Yeah, well, there you go. Glenn, beer is finished. I'd like my reward, please. Wrist killer sounds like a guitar I have. All right, Scott. Glad glad to know. Rock and Rob says, "I wonder how much a Gib daughter would be." I'm just gonna not comment on that, sir. Sorry, man. I couldn't resist those jokes. We'll let you away with it this time. I mean, it's April. Keep it for early April. That's when we need the bad jokes to roll in. Benny Larson's. I'll try to view it anyway. And for every $1 a Gibson is a Gib daughter is 78 cents. That is a great follow up. Yes, the pay gap, the gender pay gap is real, or is it? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and having a great stream. So super cool to see the new folks join us and the folks who are not so new as well. And it's always great to hang out with my friends. Finished the beer, so Glenn can't give out about me anymore on other streams he's on. It's been super cool, guys. I'm gonna go now and do that sleep thing because that's what I do. So have a good week. Take care of yourselves. I'll be back with another guitar related video very soon. But until then, take care.